Please get it, babe.
Oh!
What? Is it gone? Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Did it fall off?
Oh! What the fuck?
What?
Holy shit!
Is it still on my face?
Due to the long period without any news of her sister, Allie decided to take her friends and search for her. But their only clue was a video her sister left before leaving. The video contained the name of a restaurant. They immediately rushed to the restaurant. Allie walked into the hall, hoping to find a trace of her sister.
Does she look familiar to you at all?
Pretty. She looks a lot like you. She's gone missing.
Allie was shocked by the words of the owner, seemingly noticing her confusion. The owner quickly explained that Allie was not the first person to come looking. Many people had asked the same question. The owner told her about a place called Glar Valley, where people often went missing. If she wanted to find someone, she could go and see. After receiving the information, Allie immediately told her friends. Then they immediately drove toward the valley. However, it wasn't long before they encountered strange occurrences. They suddenly realized they seemed to be going in circles. The relentless storm outside made everyone in the car increasingly anxious. But while they were arguing, the car suddenly passed through the curtain of rain. They were shocked and quickly got out to check. They found themselves surrounded by dark clouds, as if they had entered a barrier that rain could not penetrate. Allie curiously examined the wall of water in front of her. She vaguely felt an invisible force keeping the rain outside. In a daze, she even heard her sister calling out to her. Looking at the vague figure in the mist, Allie rushed in immediately. Her boyfriend Jack was instantly terrified. To prevent an accident, he quickly ran after her and pulled her back. Just as they returned to the barrier, the sky suddenly darkened. With no other choice, they entered a nearby house to try to find someone to ask for directions, but the house was completely empty. They immediately felt uneasy. Looking around, they discovered a strange room. The walls were covered with dense, detailed documents. John carefully tore off one and found a missing persons report underneath. He immediately realized the seriousness of the situation. John tore off more papers. Sure enough, under each one was a missing person. When he reached the last one, it revealed Allie's sister's photo. At this moment, Lena outside noticed the owner's visitor log. Out of curiosity, she wrote down her own name, but she found many names repeated on other pages. One page even consisted entirely of Allie's sister's name. She didn't understand the meaning of these names, so they shared their discoveries with each other. One was the photos on the wall. The other was the visitor log. At this moment, Allie opened the cover of the visitor log. She found the name was Glar Valley. It turned out this was the place the restaurant owner had mentioned. Just as they were shocked, Lena noticed that the hourglass on the wall had somehow flipped over. She asked her companions in confusion, but the answer was that no one had touched it. The continuous strange events made everyone increasingly scared. At that moment, they suddenly heard a car engine start. They immediately went to the window to observe, only to find the car had been driven into the mist by someone unknown. They immediately ran outside to seek help. But strangely, there was no one inside the car. Terrified, they quickly returned to the house. Since their phones had no signal, they decided to find a landline to call for help. Soon Allie and two others found a basement. But strangely, the basement was very messy, as if someone had already searched it before them. At this time, Allie suddenly discovered a landline in the corner. She tried to call for help but couldn't get through. At the same time, John upstairs suddenly heard a piano sound. He left Lena behind and went to investigate alone. But John had just gone a short distance. Lena then heard a crashing sound. Worried that John might be hurt, Lena quickly followed to check, but the room was too dark, and she had to feel her way forward. When Lena turned on the light, she saw a bizarre masked figure. Lena screamed in terror. Her scream quickly drew the attention of the three in the basement. Jack immediately went upstairs to check, but when he reached the basement doorway, he saw a strange figure. Lena lay dead on the ground. Jack was so frightened that he quickly retreated, but even this faint sound still caught the attention of the monster before him. Fortunately, Jack managed to escape back to the basement. He told the remaining two to hide quickly, to avoid being hunted by the monster. Luckily, the monster did not find them, but Jack did not want to sit and wait for death. He picked up a chair to try and ambush the monster, but he was no match for the masked figure. Watching Jack die, Allie was filled with fear. At this moment, the monster found the room where they were hiding. To survive, Allie had to suppress her fear and fight back. But she was no match for the monster. Terrified, Allie turned and ran. Fortunately, she soon reached the forest, and there she saw her sister's figure. But before she could call out her name, the monster caught up. With the death of the five, a new cycle was about to begin. Time seemed to leap forward. They all came back to life, and each of their records restarted at the moment night fell. And when they revived, everyone was still full of lingering fear. They immediately gathered together and compared their accounts. They found that everyone remembered what had just happened, proving it was not a collective hallucination, but something that truly happened. At this moment, the hourglass on the wall began to count down again. Through countless repetitions of death and revival, they gradually realized that the real danger was not outside, but in their own choices and obsessions. Every fear, every act of avoidance, was a shackle of the cycle. Only by facing inner courage and responsibility could they break the curse of the cycle. Perhaps they could not change the world before them, but they could change how they respond to fear. Death might come again and again, but true freedom is to remain lucid in despair, and to choose love and protection, even in the direst situation.